happy Nevada Caucuses Day. Happy Nevada Caucuses Day, right? So you got the Democrats that are going to caucus. This is the official caucus day. They started early caucusing. This is right after the momentum and the historic win at New Hampshire. Won the popular vote, but you had the Iowa debacle. Is Nevada going to be like a debacle like Iowa, or are they going to get the caucuses right in Nevada today? Are they going to get it correct? Are they going to be able to do it, properly? Possible complications in Nevada, right? Data Nevada, excuse me. Data Nevada, yabba dabba Nevada, yabba dabba Nevada. So the data in Nevada is, it could be good, it could be bad. They're using Google Forms, which could be hacked into. They're using PIN numbers, which is passwords. People could forget it. Pete Buttigieg staffer was hired, and the new, the Nevada Democrats as a voter protection chief. The staffers of the Nevada Dems have to sign NDAs, non-disclosure agreements. They have to keep a lid on it. Don't you tell anybody how we're going to rig this thing. Typically, you got a low voter turnout when it comes to caucuses, possible intimidation at the caucuses, and the Democrats of Nevada haven't committed to same-day results. So we don't even know if we're going to get results today. I'm thinking 10 p.m. today is a debacle if there's no results, and then midnight is a shit show, an Iowa shit show. So, yeah, there's already been some problems, long lines, not enough iPads. Bernie votes have been thrown out because people haven't voted how they're supposed to. The Bernie unaffiliated instead of people voting Bernie. Anyways, you have to vote Bernie, unaffiliated, but if you vote Bernie, they throw it out. Or if you vote Bernie and you leave the next two sections blank, they'll throw that vote out too, because you're supposed to vote for the top three. So if you only voted for one, then you didn't vote for the top three. And if you voted for Bernie, then you didn't vote for the top three. So they're throwing them out. It's stupid because Bernie, that means that person just wanted Bernie, and they're throwing it out because of bullshit reasons, but they're supposed to vote for Bernie, unaffiliated, and unaffiliated. It's a limited type of ranked choice voting. So the Nevada actually had, some ranked choice voting. They started out with the early caucusing, which I think is historic. So, yeah, there's already been, some problems. Bernie votes have been thrown out, long lines, not enough iPads. So we'll see what happens, with the whole Nevada caucus today. I mean, it's 8:30 right now, February 22nd, 2020. So we'll, find out what happens. Later on, Bernie Sanders is up 8 points in California. One poll has him up 11 points in Nevada, and two polls have Bernie up 20 points in Nevada. So 20 motherfucking points. 20 motherfucking points in Nevada. In order for Nevada to steal this from Bernie, there's going to have to be some major, some major fuckery. There already seems to be fuckery afoot. It seems like it could very much turn into a debacle. We'll see. Come 10 p.m. tonight, midnight, definitely, that's the cutoff day for me, or cutoff point for me. And, but 20 points, Bernie's up for 20 points. If you're up 20 points and then somehow he ends up losing this thing, that's insane. Bloomberg, mention him real quick. His whole strategy is fuck all these early states, right? So he's polling number 2 nationally, but he's not going to get a single vote in Nevada. Bloomberg won't get a single goddamn vote in Nevada because it's not possible, because he's not on the ballot. He's not on the ballot at all. He is not on the ballot at all. He was on the debate stage. The DNC cheated so that he could get on the debate stage. He's polling number 2 nationally, but he's not going to get a single vote. But he was on the debate stage, right? But Tom Steyer and Tulsi Gabbard, they weren't on the debate stage. But guess who is on the ballot in Nevada? Tom Steyer and Tulsi Gabbard. So Tom Steyer and Tulsi Gabbard could actually, maybe they could break the 15% threshold somehow. But Bloomberg won't get a single vote. His whole strategy. So you got Tom Steyer's strategy and you got Bloomberg's strategy, and the whole narrative has changed. And this is actually fantastic because really, how Iowa and New Hampshire has had a monopoly on these, the presidential elections for quite some time is really quite insane. But the Bloomberg strategy is to say fuck the first 4 states. So fuck Iowa, fuck New Hampshire, fuck Nevada, and then fuck South Carolina. And then after having 0%, after having no showing whatsoever in the first 4 American states, he's going to rush in with his non-participatory momentum, and he's going to get all these votes on Super Tuesday. I've been underestimating him. I've misunderestimated him up until, a couple days ago. He got to the debate stage. They normalized his candidacy. So I guess we'll find out, right? And then the expectancy X, so it could go up, it could go down, depending on, I guess, the intelligence of the American people. And we drink Bud Light and sing a depressing happy birthday and have all these stupid holidays. And but yeah, the DNC is already doing shenanigans and fuckery against Bernie Sanders. They didn't let Tulsi and Tom Steyer, who are Bernie allies, they had said something good about Bernie at one time or another. So that's fantastic. That's terrible. That's awful. So you have Bernie Sanders is fantastic, right? He's endorsed by Dick Van Dyke, by Ben and Jerry's. Ariana Grande got 20,000 new registered voters for him. So that's quite remarkable. That's very mature and sophisticated view of American electoral politics. 20,000 new voters. So that's fantastic. Bloomberg's strategy, I already told you, fuck Iowa, fuck New Hampshire, fuck Nevada, fuck, most especially, fuck South Carolina. So he's going to say fuck the first 4 states, and then with his powerful 0%, he's going to, have an unprecedented, massive Super Tuesday victory. So, watch out for Bloomberg. Tom Steyer's strategy, I think, actually has just as much teeth. All of their strategy, really, anybody but Bernie. I mean, unless you're going all the way to the convention, but you're really going to tear this, political party asunder. But Tom Steyer's strategy is all about South Carolina. So Tom Steyer's fuck Iowa, fuck New Hampshire, fuck Nevada. And then, hey, South Carolina, what's up, baby? Let's have sugar tits. I want to adore you and worship you. South Carolina, come on, baby. I'll be your slave. Come on, girl, I'll be your slave. So South Carolina is the greatest goddamn state in the union, right? I mean, it's bad, but it's not that bad. In some ways, the bad is the good. So Tom Steyer is just going to say, South Carolina, I love you, South Carolina, right? Fuck Iowa, fuck New Hampshire, fuck Nevada. South Carolina, what's up, girl? So I keep cracking myself up. So, yeah, there's a limited form of ranked choice voting they had, which was pretty exciting. 10 p.m. is the debacle. Midnight is the shit show. If the Nevada caucuses turn into a shit show, caucuses are dead and gone forever. So, it could have been a good thing, us getting together and talking about the issues. But, the little bit of democracy, we're going to, Jesus Christ, we export our democracy by gun. And we don't even have a democracy here. Hey, America, if our caucuses in Nevada are fucked today, you think maybe we could get our shit together? Perhaps, America, you think we get our shit together? Thank you. Sincerely, humanity. The way you make people trustworthy is to trust them. Edward Snowden. Jimmy Dore, he pointed out we're in Afghanistan war, the war in Afghanistan for 18 years and 2 more years. The Afghanistan war gets a gold watch. In fact, Jimmy Dore says that the Afghanistan war is so old, it's going to start collecting Social Security benefits here, before too long. Pete Buttigieg didn't win New Hampshire, which is somewhat odd since Pete Buttigieg looks like a New Hampshire. Hey, you look like a New Hampshire. How did you lose New Hampshire? That's James Corden. James Corden. Oh, man. Yesterday, Bernie gave a speech in California, February 21st, 2020. He also gave a speech in Las Vegas, Nevada. Donald Trump also gave a speech in Las Vegas, Nevada, too. Pete Buttigieg is giving a speech in Colorado today. Michael Bloomberg is blaming Bernie Sanders supporters because his offices are being vandalized. He just doesn't realize that he's just unlikable. He is Trump 2.0. He is such a villain. You know, such a dark cloud has descended over the Democratic Party. Fucking Bloomberg, a goddamn plutocrat, just going to buy his way into it and steal the damn thing. He's got, let's see, one office in Knoxville, Tennessee, but this same shit's happened in Ann Arbor, Michigan, Flint, Michigan, Toledo, Ohio, Youngstown, Ohio. So you have, you know, Knoxville, Tennessee. This isn't anything different. This Bernie Sanders supporters are just, you know, people who hate the oligarchy. In Knoxville, I guess they had handmade posters with the word oligarch written on top of it, and authoritarian and classist. So, you know, perhaps him being an authoritarian, classist oligarch has something to do with it. So he's going to, you know, put it on Bernie Sanders. But Bernie Sanders, I think, in Seattle, either in Oregon or Washington, I think it's Seattle, but he had a brick that was thrown through his window. So Bernie Sanders had a brick thrown through his window. Is that the Bloomberg supporters? Probably. That's actually more likely than, you know, the other way. Pete Buttigieg had a memo that was circulating saying that neoliberals need to stick together or else, you know, Bernie's going to get the nomination. Bernie's going to run away with this thing. So it's kind of showing you that he's already kind of running away with it. Now, Pete, even though he is a millennial, he is out of touch with millennials, but he did say he was into Bernie Sanders before it was cool to be so. He was into Bernie before it was cool. So that's, you know, Pete used to be cool, but now he's a Manchurian cyborg planted by the CIA to develop Skynet. John Connor's dead, so what hope do we really have anyways? Pete Buttigieg also says that Denmark is the best place to achieve the American dream, which is a socialist, capitalist place. Denmark has got a 90% tax rate. Denmark is also the happiest country in the world. So the fact that Pete Buttigieg is admitting that a democratic, capitalist country, Denmark, is the only place on earth where it's the number one place where the American dream is even possible. He says America doesn't even reach the top 10 for the American dream. So Pete Buttigieg, I think, actually would be the tougher opponent, the tougher neoliberal opponent for Bernie Sanders, because he's actually somewhat progressive. He liked Bernie Sanders at some point, so he's has, you know, a shit ton of progressive viewpoints. He is angling for, hey, I'm not Bernie, I'm just to the, you know, right of Bernie. But he's a Manchurian cyborg full of shit planted by the CIA to develop Skynet. You know this is true. You know it's true. Bernie Sanders has accomplished a shit ton. Bernie Sanders has accomplished a lot in this life. Bernie Sanders has accomplished not only, you know, over 400 bills, over 400 legislative bills that have been passed. So he's, you know, got the job done. He's co-signed and helped write over 400 bills. When he was younger, he had a business. Mike Bloomberg had a decent moment and said, hey, I got a business. Is that fair? And nobody said shit. So it made it seem like he was the only person that has ever started a business that was on that stage full of Democrats, which is, you know, that's a bad look. But Bernie Sanders has started a business. He was selling videos, documentaries of Eugene Debs to TV stations and shit when he was, you know, before college or something. I don't know. It was a long time ago. But he had some business, a little bit, tiny bit, but he had a business, right? He started a nonprofit or something. He was making money. I'm not for sure exactly. He didn't defend himself at the thing, but I'm pretty sure he had a business at one point or another. Now, what else is going on today? This is the Bernie update. So, let's see, Nevada. Biden said, you know, Creepy Joe, it is sad to watch him now eliminate all subsidies on oil and gas. I think that's fantastic. Yeah, get rid of the subsidies on oil and gas. Elizabeth Warren is for a Green New Deal, so that's, you know, fantastic. Bernie had said that his wealth tax hits Bloomberg harder than Elizabeth Warren's wealth tax would. That's why Bloomberg is in. He's trying to save himself money. He don't want Elizabeth Warren or Bernie getting in there because he's going to get taxed more under them. So really he's just in there to save himself some money. America's fundamental laws exist to make the job of law enforcement not easier but harder. This isn't a bug, it's a core feature of democracy. Edward Snowden. Bloomberg's Toledo office, right, was vandalized just like in Tennessee, in Knoxville, just like in Ohio, Youngstown, just really everywhere. Everywhere Michael Bloomberg is going, his offices are being vandalized. He's blaming Bernie Sanders, but it's really just a mass, movement against very hateable plutocrats, serial sexual assaulters, racist plutocrats, oligarch. So anyways, somebody threw a brick through Bernie's offices, so in Seattle. So if you're going to sit there and try to blame it all on, Bernie Bros, well, who the fuck did that? Is that just Bernie trying to get his sympathy for himself? Well, that's what Bloomberg's doing. Bloomberg's just paying people to throw bricks through his damn offices to get, generate sympathy. That dirty, rotten son of a bitch. He's a fucking businessman. He's a huckster. And what do hucksters do? They steal other people's staff. They pay people on Instagram to write decent comments. So it's not an organic movement. It's fake, but you fake it till you make it. Then look at who's president. That motherfucker did it. He was sitting there tweeting and, YouTubing and talking to the American people forever. Nobody gave a flying fuck about what he had to say. Not until he became president. And then everybody tried to stop him. So that's when it comes to Bloomberg and Donald, I'll say this about them. It just their strengths, because everybody's got pros and cons, right? They're both pieces of shit, plutocrats. I would hate for them to be in office. The one thing I will say about them, but it just seems like, why do things organically? Why sit there and try to say popular shit and then get people to support you and then, move up through the ranks like that? Instead, you could just have a shit ton of money, pay a bunch of bots to support you, pay a bunch of actors to come into your, speech. So you got actors, you got bots, you got, these influencers, these people on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and whatnot. He's paying them to say something good about him. So he just gets the illusion that he's got popular public support. He just throws some money at the people. Hey, here's a job. I can pay you. So shut the fuck up. Here's money. Shut the fuck up. And people are like, oh, okay. Yeah, no, I'll shut. Yeah, no. You want me to shut up? I will shut up. Here, thank you. Thank you for the money. And he's stealing staffers from other things, so he's cutthroat when it comes to business. And so fuck this guy just through and through. The strength that I was trying to say was essentially, whenever a man just wants to do something, you just have this onslaught of people that are against him doing it. You want to do something? I'm against you doing it. Why would you be like that? If you're happy with yourself and your life, then you should be happy for other people's happiness. And we all should have, that upward mobility of Denmark. So maybe that's what it is. Dog eat dog capitalism is just kind of keeping us all down because everybody just, what, you want to do something? Fuck you. Fuck you. I'm not going to let you do something. You want to do something? I hate you. I hate you for wanting to do something. And so, yeah, I got, Vegas, the verb's Vegas, I got a friend, and it seems like I'm twisting his goddamn arm to get him to like shit that he likes. I'm not trying to ask anybody to like things they don't like, but if you come across something, the more shit that you like, that you do like, the more shit that you like shows up. That's how the algorithm works. So if you like certain posts, if you like certain things, like those. But it's like, Jesus Christ. But if I got all these bots and paid all these motherfuckers, then people would just jump in and join in the fray. And they're like, oh, that is pretty good little post there. Yeah, what, after 1,000 fucking people just, pretended to care about it, and now all of a sudden you think it's fucking... Well, if 1,000 people care about it, then clearly it must mean something. Or maybe somebody just pumped a bunch of fucking money into it and really nobody paid attention to it. They just clicked on it and then jumped off of it immediately. Yeah, so I'm a little bit America is not a meritocracy. Look at, Saturday Night Live. You had Tony Adamanuik. You had this guy who did a Donald Trump impersonation, fucking fantastic through and through, had the lines, had the bit, had the mannerisms, fantastic. You can't beat Anthony Adamanowic's impression of Donald Trump, but he didn't get on Saturday Night Live. It was politics. You got Baldwin, and so you got Alec Baldwin just doing his distorted face, like, oh, look at me, I'm a piece of shit, kind of, impersonation, which is funny enough, but it hurts to watch it, for a long period of time, compared to Anthony Adamanowicz, who is clever, funny, he's dead on with his, just nuanced behaviors. So when it comes to a meritocracy in America, what, the rise of Bloomberg and Donald Trump shows me is that, no, these people are not being picked out of, a pile. We're not getting into coalitions. We're not picking these guys. We're not tapping them on the shoulders. These are just a bunch of rich assholes, rich, powerful assholes who are saying, you know what? Hey, I like power. I like power and money. Yeah, I'll go ahead and rule. I'll run everything. You've been running, a lot of shit most of your fucking life. You want more? He's got $60 billion and now he wants more? Now he wants to become the fucking president? Just to stop Bernie? Just to stop working class people from having a chance with any of these, rich assholes that fucking cheat their way through the goddamn system? Would they even know how to? Anyways, so I got, they're pieces of shit. But living in America, dog-eat-dog capitalism, I think in America, people only respect power and wealth. And so in America, since people only respect power and wealth, they don't respect anybody else. They don't respect, people that are just decent for their charm, for their smile, and if people, people are just such dickheads. I just feel like I've told people jokes from, comedians, famous comedians, and then I'm offended, and then I tell them that it was a joke that a comedian said, and then they're saying, oh, well, then it's okay. Well, why you got to be an asshole? I could have been, I could have been a contender. If I tell you a George Carlin joke and you say you're offended by it, well, I could have developed, more of a George Carlin kind of wit if I had, good people that's around me. But if people are just going to be offended and be all, I'm offended and shit, that's no good. That doesn't help. It shows me you're a dickhead, you're an asshole. You're not just offended because you're offended, because you don't give a flying fuck about me. You don't give a flying fuck about me, so you just want to be a dick about shit. You're not going to encourage me. You're not going to support me. You're not going to say, go, Johnny, go. You're not going to say, Johnny, be good. You're not going to be like my godfather, So that's the only thing I'll say about them is that, they're not organically created. But apparently, if you have a good PR, good PR firm, a good PR campaign, it doesn't matter if you're actually, supported by the people, if the people actually needed you, if you were actually called upon by the people, or if you just started spending a shit ton of money and started talking down to the people, but they loved it and they cheered you on because, hell, look at everybody else. Everybody else is doing it. And what sucks about the slaves is that slaves will fight each other over just a glance, a side glance that's hateful. They'll, go against each other for, oh, you hating me with your side glances? And, yeah, so anyways, just as a man in America, in a dog-eat-dog society, the lack of support, the lack of anything, really, it's just like, even if a person was to do something good, I read about this man who saved another man or woman on a subway, and he became a hero for a day. I bet you people watch that, and they're pissed off. Oh, that motherfucker thinks he's so clever. He's so smart. No, he was a hero. He did something heroic. So he got, his just desserts. He got the right accolades for, the right amount of accolades for what he actually did. But people hated on him because he was getting attention, because people were loving it, and then people started saying, well, did he actually save him? Maybe he pushed him into it and then was saved, and they just come up with all this other shit. People just don't want to be happy for other people. People just don't want to like other people. So it doesn't matter if you're famous because you're a billionaire. It doesn't matter if you're famous because you're a socialist. It doesn't matter if you're, famous for doing good. People just want to hate others. And so if you're known, it's almost, best to not be known. Because if you're known, then people could say, it's kind of a weird contradiction. It's like business. They say any publicity is good publicity, right? I mean, you can see how that could go awry. Any publicity is good publicity. They can't always be right, but the idea is if they're talking about you, then that means you're winning. Because number one reason why people vote for somebody in any office is name recognition. Oh, I know that person. Oh, I know that person. They're famous. They're popular. I've heard of them. I think I'll vote for them because I've heard of them. I've never heard of this person. I mean, you can't, in some ways, you can't vote for someone that you've never heard of. But you shouldn't just vote for somebody because you heard of, oh, I've heard of them. So, I mean, it makes me think of a bunch of things, but it makes me think about, like, how whenever the police or the military do an operation and they get the one guy, so El Chapo was arrested, but who arrested El Chapo? Who was the guy hunting them down? What tactics, what tricks, what bullshit did they throw down? So, how did that happen? It's like almost like this invisible military, invisible police with no face. Like Blagojevich. I'll end it off with Rod Blagojevich. You know, he committed a crime, but I didn't hate the guy. And it seemed kind of crazy that, you know, he's having this private conversation in his own living room, and he goes to federal jail. He having a private conversation in his own living room, and then he goes to jail. So I felt like it seemed too much at the time. But who arrested him? Apparently he said, you know, Donald had said it was Comey and Friedrich or something. He said it was the same gang of people that was coming after him. And so when you put a face on all of it, well, now it's not just Blagojevich committed a crime, therefore he needs to go to jail. Now it's James Comey said Blagojevich committed a crime. So do you go with James Comey or do you go with Blagojevich? Now it's like one-on-one, mano-a-mano, instead of just the machine, this dark, shadowy police military force like in Egypt. Everybody was saying how great the military was for orderly transition, having elections and democracy, and then the military took over. So if people just say the police or the military, then there's not an actual face. There's not one person being held accountable for that sort of faceless entity. Police go in, now Rod Blagojevich is in jail. Who the fuck did any of that stuff? Who are these people? Did they have political, you know, ambitions? Is it a political hit job? Was it actually, is there something to this, or what's going on here? So, yeah. That's the only thing I'm going to give credit for. Being a man in America, it's just, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. And so essentially you have to transcend through all the bullshit and, you know, just do your own thing and not worry about the bullshit. So, but me being, you know, a part of the struggle, just, I guess it baffles me. Why would you want to make the struggle harder for other people? You know, the struggle is there, and it's there for everybody. Everybody's got their own struggles. Most people, not everybody. Some people actually say, I don't have any struggles, and it's like, huh. That's why me and you don't really get along and we don't understand each other. There it is. There it is. You don't struggle. So you don't understand me at all. So I guess if you don't struggle, then you just want to fuck with other people just to make their lives harder. You're bored. So, hey, I'm bored. I'm going to go fuck with other people's lives and try to stop their progress. And I just, you know, why you got to be like that, America? It's not cool. You got to transcend through the bullshit. I mean, it makes, you know, it'll make or break you. So that's why we got, like, Muhammad Ali come out of Kentucky. One of the most racist states in the Union. That's where Muhammad Ali came out of. You know Colonel Sanders is racist as shit. You know he was. So Muhammad Ali had to deal with all that racist bullshit, and he come out of Kentucky. So how did we get the greatest? Because we had the greatest oppression, and so in order to fight the greatest oppression, you had to be a fucking He-Man, a goddamn superhero. So, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'll just give them those 2 points. Being a man, basically, you have to do your own thing and just ignore all this shit and just keep on trucking forward. And just, you know, watch these motherfuckers. These sons of bitches, you know. They'll hate you even if you ended poverty. They hate Bernie Sanders. That should tell you everything you need to know about a person. You hate Bernie Sanders? Bernie's been fighting for people his whole life, and you hate him? You hate a good man? You would rather nobody be in charge or evil, fascist, insane, bad shit fascism? That's what you... Anybody but socialist fascists. Anybody but the person I see and know and understand. It's crazy. I guess maybe the remedy for that is to shine a light. The military, no, it was Al-Sisi. Al-Sisi was the one running all the shit in goddamn Egypt, and now Al-Sisi isn't a great, catalyst for democracy. No, Al-Sisi is a piece of shit authoritarian who stole democracy, killed the Egyptian revolution, and now there's a military dictatorship with